Hello and welcome to the 70th episode of the Gochuucast. And today, I forgot to move my pop filter, so I'm gonna have to make a little bit of noise. Okay, we're good. Yeah, so,
Good. That's good. Good today.
yeah, someone else can start us off.
Okay, well, number one, we're over the NSFW episode, so now we can talk about very pure, non-lewd things. So
Yes.
that's a relief.
So today we're gonna be talking about...
Yeah. I mean,
What do you mean,
No,
PK?
I guess that's true. We did miss stuff. Because anything that would have happened like last week that we could have talked about, we wouldn't have.
Yeah, that's true.
Did anything even happen
I feel like there's
last
one
week?
thing.
I don't
I
know.
feel like there's one thing that one of us saved for today, but I can't remember what it was. I guess it was like the One Piece live adaptation, but
I
feel like
mean, I guess I
That would
technically
be the
have a
biggest-
few things, but...
okay, yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I've watched a couple episodes of HBK Season 2. Was not expecting the double-length episode for the premiere. But that happened. But,
Does it have a double length for the first episode?
yeah, Season 2. It's good. We'll see how it goes. I feel like, I'm gonna need the... I don't know, I'm gonna need some stuff to make me buy into some of the drama right now. Not that I think it's, like, bad or anything, but, yeah, it's a little goofed.
I mean, it's definitely a series that has a lot of drama in it. For, I don't want to say no reason,
It's not that
but
there's, like,
there were definitely moments when I was
no...
watching where I was just kind of like, can we get back to band?
It's not even that. Like, I'm fine with the drama. It's just, I don't want it to, like, veer into, like... There's definitely some moments in Season 1 I thought were very melodramatic. And then I don't want Season 2 to veer into that, because there's this main drama point that's been talked about since Season 1 that they're starting to get into more. I just don't want that drama point to be fucking stupid, which I'm really worried about. Because right now, I'm struggling to... I generally get the character motivation stuff, but I feel like it's a little too far into the dramatic, like, area than it probably should be. But I'm only 2 episodes in, so I could flesh it out more, and I could be more bought in. But for right now, it's like, it's good, but if I want to gas it up as much as everyone else, then I'm gonna need more clarity, I guess.
Anymore. That's fair. I mean, it's like, obviously I like a lot of music-based shows, and I have a huge musical background, so for me it's, I think, one of those things too that just kind of hits a particular spot. So I didn't necessarily feel like I needed all of that. If anything, I would be like, I want to buy into the drama less because I just want to go play pop music.
Wait, what's your
But
musical
it's like a very
background?
different. I did ensemble bands for 15 years, I want to say, both in school and then in college and then semi-professionally afterwards.
Wait,
And I
what
know
instrument did you play?
8 different instruments. So I mostly
8.
did trumpet and tuba and a little bit of French horn.
Yo, wait. Oh, I feel like you mentioned this before. I didn't know 8 instruments. Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
Some of this is known, and 8 sounds like a really high number until you consider the fact that I know like almost every brass instrument,
yeah,
and
those
that
are
pads it out to,
transferable,
like,
right?
6.
Because it's like, I mean, I guess aside from the
They
horn, it's
are
the same thing.
ish.
Yeah,
There's differences in how, like, what the fingerings for them would
yeah.
be,
The
how the
tuning is
music's
different,
read.
right? Like,
Yeah.
if I recall correctly, like French horn, like to make the same note come out of a French horn versus like a trumpet versus like a trombone, it's like the way the music is read is like different. Like the keys like shifted or whatever. If I
Yeah,
recall
some
correctly,
some
but
of
I
them
guess
are
the skills are
trebles.
transferable, right? Like, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's just like
Some of them are different music. Some are like different combination of notes. Obviously, trombone is like kind of a different beast than all the valve
yeah,
ones.
because there's no
But
fingering, right? You just have to, even though they're
for the
like
most
kind of
part, if you can,
analogous to,
yeah,
yeah.
if you can make a
Okay.
noise on one of them, you can probably make a noise on all of them.
Yeah,
And
of
so
course,
then
of
it's
course.
all mechanics.
Right. Yeah. Okay. New lore acquired. I feel like you mentioned the French horn, or like in one of the episodes that we were talking about, like music anime, but like I didn't know about 8 instruments. But I mean, I guess if they're mostly brass, then I guess it makes sense. So,
I
yeah.
don't feel like I
Yeah, it's like
remember any of
mostly
it.
brass.
It's a
I
bit
don't
new
really,
lore.
I don't really count bass guitar, but I did learn bass guitar. But
Gotcha.
it's been so long, and I never used it for anything. Um, on like a technical level, I learned a few percussion instruments, mostly tenors and snares. Obviously, I know a bit of like piano and keyboard
Mhm.
because music is music, and
Yeah, you kind of
they're
have.
not
Yeah,
easy. They're not easy, but like I can tell you what notes are what notes on a keyboard, and I can
yeah.
play you
That's
like a
yeah,
pretty basic song.
yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I have negative musical background, so the drama's kind of all I have. Like, not that I don't appreciate the musical part of it as well, obviously. That's one of the big things. But to buy into the whole thing, obviously I need more me.
Yeah,
Yeah. I haven't watched I guess I haven't watched any more Love Live in a while. So that's been paused basically until
I haven't watched much of anything the last few weeks, so
yeah, I kind of took
I
like a pause, I guess, cuz I finally got a fucking video out after like 2 months.
yeah, I was following like your Twitter stuff. It seemed like you were working on that pretty hard. So
I've just been moving around a lot, as you guys know, but people listening don't, and so it's
yeah,
hard to like get into watching stuff when I'm changing locations so much.
yeah, makes sense. I've had some stuff this week, but I've recently, like, I don't know why, I don't know what happened to me, and this is related to anime, which I'll get to, but like, I've gotten into movies, and if you know anything about me, I have the attention span of a goldfish, so I hate movies normally. But over
Yeah,
the
you
past,
messaged me randomly if I
yeah,
had seen Parasite, which
yeah,
is
dude,
a funny one to ask about.
no, I mean, I hadn't seen it, right? Like, I just heard, like,
Yeah,
I guess like over the past 10-ish years, like I'd seen like movies on and off, but like I hadn't seen like the quote unquote like best movies of every year, right? Like I had just seen like maybe one movie a year, right? And over the past like week and a half, I've seen like 5 movies. I don't know why. I saw like Parasite, which I love Parasite. Like every movie I watch from now on, I'm like gonna compare it back to that. Like that's how good it was. I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I didn't like. I watched another like Japanese movie. I watched Thank You for Smoking, and then the final movie I saw actually earlier today, I finished it, was Spirited Away, which like apparently like everybody's
nice.
seen, but I haven't somehow.
It's
Yeah, that's
like one
like
of Japan's highest grossing movies, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, it's promoted a lot in the West, from what I read. I mean, I had heard of it,
yeah,
obviously. Like
like
I've seen people like talk about it, right? I didn't. I
yeah,
didn't.
like non-anime fans
Yeah,
actively watch.
yeah. It's like one of the highest rated movies on IMDb. I'm pretty sure. For whatever that's worth, but I
You
don't know.
should
I didn't understand the movie. Like I didn't. I didn't like. I don't know. It just didn't. It didn't click with me. Like I'm not gonna say I hated
the
it,
only
but
time
yeah.
I've seen Spirited Away was in high school. I was dating a girl who was really into anime. And at
Uh,
that point in my life, I think I've talked about this before maybe, but I don't know if it was on air. At that point in my life, I was very like not into anime. I was very into like
mhm,
basketball and track and sports. And I'd grown up watching Naruto in the past, but it was like, it's just Naruto. Stuff like that. So I don't want to say I was anti anime, but I was like very like not all that interested. And she made me watch a few of the Ghibli movies with her at various points in times, and I remember nothing about any of them,
Uh,
but I
quite
have seen a few.
a strong impression, I guess you would say. Um, yeah, I don't
And now
really
I'm here.
watch too many movies either. Not that I have a like, small attention span. I'm just bad at committing to things. Like I can't. I
I do
I
have a
cannot
small
sit
attention.
down and like do something for a long amount of time unless like. Now, if I get started on something, then generally I can.
Oh,
but
I see what you mean.
it's like the
Yeah,
commitment to that,
yeah,
which is also a big problem when I'm writing scripts. Cause I'll sit down and write like 2 paragraphs, and then writer's block ensues, and then like
gotcha.
my
Yeah,
easily distracted self will be like, we will now go get up and do something unproductive that will add nothing to my life for the next 30 minutes, and then all that time will be gone.
I agree with it. It's really easy to be like, oh, I'm gonna go watch like 5 20-minute seasonals, and it's hard to be like, I'm gonna go watch a 2 hour movie, even
yeah,
though it's
it's like a different level.
same time. Yeah.
I watched yeah, I was watching some other Japanese movie called Shoplifters. I watched that in like in little chunks. Like I don't mind it too much, but yeah, I get it. Like if you want to sit down and watch the entire thing, I mean, you have to have like free space, free time,
Mhm.
and like like commit to it. So I get it.
Yeah.
Um,
One of my old roommates used to be the type of person that would start a movie on like Netflix and then watch 20 to 30 minutes of it and then
yeah,
pause it
yeah.
and just go like live his life doing other things and a few days later
I'm
come
back.
back. And I would never understand how he could do it. Because I
Yeah,
would always be like,
I
how did
I
you get
can't
it?
stop a movie once I've started it. I gotta sit through the whole thing.
Yeah.
yeah, I think for me it's just like I just get like so not bored, but like, and this is like the problem. I kind of forced myself to finish, especially Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was like the one movie like everybody said was like insane, but like I don't know, I didn't get that movie. I had to force myself to finish it. It was 2 hours long. It felt like 10 hours. Um, but yeah, I guess like, with respect to like Spirited Away, I think even though I didn't like the movie, I thought the animation was like really really good. Like comparing it to
Yeah.
like other Disney movies, I shouldn't say other, but like comparing it to Disney movies that I'd seen as a kid. I mean, obviously my recollection of that their animation level is not very clear, but like I can assure you that like the detail in Spirited Away, like the it's just the detail in the animation, the amount of like moving parts, like what was that old woman's name, the Baba Yaga or whatever her name was, the old lady. There were like so many moving parts like on her face at like a given time, and like being able to animate all of that while still maintaining like the expressions. That's like so impressive. Like yeah, it was really really high quality. It's just the story, like for me. I don't know if there's not like enough stakes. If like people aren't dying, like it's very hard for me to like. Okay, people aren't dying. That's like very very like extreme. But like
Monkey.
if no, if people,
Monkey.
yeah, it doesn't have to be action, but like suspense and like thinking about like what's gonna happen next. If that's not there, then it's like harder for me. I won't say impossible, but it's harder
He
for me
would
to get into it. So
he would hate Gochumon. That's what he's saying.
no, I don't know. Some slice of life, it's like okay, but like yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I appreciate what Spirited Away did. It's just not my kind of movie, I guess. Yeah, that's all I can say about it, really. But um,
You should watch Spotlight next. This is not an anime movie. This is a movie, but you should watch Spotlight
oh,
next.
who recommended this? Yeah, I feel like I've seen. I feel like I've
It
heard of
was,
this movie.
what was it? It's
15.
2017, 2016.
Oh, it did. Yeah, it's
I think it was 16
2015.
because I
15,
I read the
16. Okay, yeah.
yeah, because I read the script to it in 2015, and it was like 6 months before it came out.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wait. Oh,
There's
I guess
it
for
was
like.
when I was in film school.
Yeah, gotcha.
I had a script writing class. They somehow our school had access to the
Oh,
script
that's awesome.
Spotlight like 6 months early, and so we all got to read it and like critique it and do write ups stuff like that. Just kind of
Gotcha.
like use it
Gotcha.
as a lesson plan.
Yeah.
And I remember reading that script and like talking to my friends about it afterwards and be like, "This is gonna win like major awards," and it
Mhm.
won major awards.
Yeah. I think actually like comparing it to like another animated movie I'd seen, which I've only seen like three standalone versus like other spin-off side story anime, but like in a silent voice, like I think the reason I liked that movie so much was like you were instantly basically within the first 15-ish minutes, you were instantly introduced to like the conflict of like the deaf girl getting bullied, right? And it was like very interesting for me to like understand what's going to happen to her and like what how that like main character is gonna like treat her and like deal with her and stuff like that. Like that instant that early introduction of that conflict. That's the part I really really liked and that kept me watching the movie. And then like Howl's Moving Castle, or not Howl's Moving Castle. That's the other one that I kind of wanted to see, but Spirited Away. I felt like even though she was thrown into that spirit world within the first, I don't know, 10 minutes or whatever, it just took a while for like that conflict to develop. Even though she found her, I guess like her parents transformed into pigs or whatever. Um, yeah, it just took a while for like the conflict within the spirit world to develop. Which I don't know. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's just not my movie. That's all. It's not my kind of movie. But I'm interested in potentially trying some other ones. Just
So
yeah,
the thing is, most of the anime movies I've seen are like either the shonen let's go on a
yeah,
non-canon adventure where we can flex all of our toys
yeah,
movies, or like continuations of stories,
yeah,
um,
exactly.
stuff like that. Like not a ton of the anime movies I've watched are like true standalones.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
guess the closest would probably be The Boy and the Beast. I don't know if you know that movie at all.
I haven't heard of that one.
I do. I feel like you talked about it before.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like it's shown up
I
on
probably
AMQ.
have.
It's shown up on AMQ before. That's probably
It's
why.
100%. I 100% use it on AMQ to mess with you guys. But
Oh,
it's
okay.
I watched it back in college one night, just kind of randomly with some of my buddies, and it was pretty good. I There may have been some drinking involved, so I can't say I can
Yeah,
perfectly
I feel
recall
like Spirited
everything.
Away is like a great movie to watch if you're like high or something. Like there's just a lot going on in that world, that spirited world, with like all the animals and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking through my movie list. It's like Bandori movie, Fate Stay Night movies, One Piece, Demon Slayer, Rascal, JJK, More Fate, My Hero, Hibike. These are all
Yeah.
like the Love Live movies. They're all like continuations of the stories or like little side stories, but almost none of these, as I look through, are standalones.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not. I want to watch more. At one point, I thought of like watching a movie, like one movie like every week or something. Just sit down and watch a movie. That never happened.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
it
a
is
lot.
uh it's basically like half a season of my time every time I decide to sit down and watch one.
It's a good way to put it.
And I'm like constantly I gotta start cutting down on, I gotta trim the fat with my seasonals. Holy shit. I gotta stop getting myself in things that I'm not not fond of. But especially because I don't think I'm gonna keep doing YouTube shorts. I made another one recently and I fucking hate doing them so much. They're so annoying.
Are they just not fun?
I don't have fun writing them. I don't have fun editing them. I don't have fun with any part of the process. They're just not my kind of thing. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. But
Do they do decently out of curiosity?
the first one did fine, especially for like channel size. The one I just uploaded did pretty dog water.
Yeah, but the one you just uploaded was reincarnated as
Vending machine. Yeah, which
So fair. I mean, if you don't like them, don't do them. Obviously, I was just curious.
yeah, it's like I wanted to start doing them more because I was like, okay, I wonder how much they actually like contribute to like my channel growth as like a whole, not just like shorts views, but do they translate to actual things as well? Which there's like a statistic for that. So my videos and shorts, viewers watching across both formats. This is specifically from the last 28 days, which, you know, not like the greatest data because my other one was well past 28 days. But it's 91 video only, 4 watching both, and 5 shorts only. So I'm not particularly sad about going away from this shorts. It's just not a lot of you know, there's not a lot of transfer. At least I have 2 shorts up, and neither of them like blew up to insane whatever. So it doesn't mean a whole lot, which is why I wanted more of a sample size. But to get to that sample size, I would like be bashing my soul against the wall and taking time away from things that I actually want to make. Which I just came up with the draft thumbnail now for something I'm gonna be making. I really want to get the ReZero one done, but it's just a journey that I'm not ready to embark on when I have all these other things I want to do.
Is there a date announced for season 3 of ReZero? I forgot.
No, we have no
Time it for that.
information, and we're probably not going to get any for a while. It's going to
Okay.
be it's going to
You
be a
can put it
long.
on the back burner until more announcements or more details of season 3
An
come out.
interesting bit of White Fox, which is a studio that's going to be doing season 3 and has done the other seasons, of course. They are doing another anime that is going to be 3 cours long, 3 consecutive cours. So that's like 36 episodes, which probably lends to the idea that we've already probably known that ReZero is it's going to be a long season. So that should be interesting. Whether or not it'll be consecutive or not, I don't know. I could see them doing arc 5 and then like taking a break and then doing arc 6. But I don't know how many episodes they're going to have per. We'll see. We will see one day.
Yeah, I hope it's soon. I'm actually kind of excited. I mean, I know you've read the web/light novel, so you're probably more excited and know what's coming up. But I don't know. I'm excited too.
Arc
So
6 is my favorite arc, so I'm excited to see that get animated.
Gotcha.
This is arc 5, right?
Arc 5 will be the start, yeah. And then arc 6 after.
And
arc 5, that's a Yu-Gi-Oh season. Silly.
Well, spoiler, they don't play Yu-Gi-Oh in arc 5.
Damn.
Okay, but what if in the anime they did?
I think that would cause a little bit of controversy, that I don't think White Fox is ready to handle.
Yeah. The other thing I did, which I think we mentioned last time, but we were talking too much about like censorship and whatever manhwa. I watched the first episode of the One Piece live action on Netflix.
And I watched all of it.
I watched none of it.
There are 8 episodes. Yes.
How many? Like, is it 8 so far, or like how many?
They got a season 2 confirmed for sure.
No, but also there's a ton of rumors about the potential of a season 2, and essentially what's been said is the people at Netflix are like, we are ready for a season 2 as soon as the writer's strike is over and it gets greenlit. But with everything going on with the writer's strike and stuff like that, it's in like a weird state where it's like, is a season 2 going to happen? Most likely, but at the moment it's not a confirmed thing. It's mostly right now just people kind of affiliated with the project being like, hey, we're ready, give us the season 2.
Yeah, I looked it up. It was season 2 scripts are finished, but they're gonna wait for the writer's strike. So yeah, it'll probably you'll get one at some point.
It will almost certainly get a season 2 because it's there's been a lot of opinions about it, and I think that they're all very valid. But it has been wildly successful, and I think at the end of the day, that is the most important thing that will decide if it gets a season 2.
Yeah, I just keep seeing all these like Detective Pikachu movie style edits of Chopper, and they're very odd.
Yeah, that's I do wonder what they'll do for Chopper. Because Chopper is a funny one. Because the easy answer, if it wasn't a character as important as Chopper, is to just not have the character. There were a few things similar to that they didn't do in the live adaptation. That it was just like something too difficult to do, so they skipped it. However, Chopper is too important to just skip. And neither of you two, I think, have watched enough to really know Chopper's powers, but Chopper's powers are also something that is kind of wacky for live adaptation. More than any of the stuff that you saw in the first season with Luffy stretching and Buggy turning to pieces and all of that type of stuff. Choppers are even weirder in terms of like how they would adapt it. So that's definitely something that I wonder how they would deal with that character.
Yeah, I thought the Luffy like rubber it's like the stretchy infinite stretchability, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what it's actually called, that power. I thought they did a decent job of like animating that as well as it could. I
I
mean,
think
it's
they did
not.
a good
Yeah,
job.
yeah,
It's something that's always gonna look goofy. Like
yeah. But that's the point,
you weren't
right?
gonna avoid that. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I think it looked good still,
yeah.
and that was the important thing.
Um, but yeah, I thought. I guess like One Piece is supposed to be kind of silly, right? Like not kind of. It's supposed to be really silly because I
It
feel
is
like the first
supposed to
episode
be
was
pretty
really silly.
silly.
like,
Um, and what's funny is the live adaptation is still silly, and it still has some of those One Piece vibes. But if you watched the same content of One Piece anime and
Mhm.
then watched the live adaptation, it's like even sillier in the anime, which is expected. But it's funny because me, a One Piece fan, watching the live adaptation was kind of like, this is kind of like a more serious version of One Piece. And then people who don't know are like, wow, this is really like zany and goofy.
Yeah, sure, sure. Right. It's just comparing it to the original, I guess. Yeah, to be more serious. I felt like I can't take Luffy seriously. Like he's just a clown. Like I don't know.
I
I,
mean, that is
I mean, I
true.
guess maybe later on. I mean, I'll keep watching. I might as well just keep watching. I mean, I have kind of
Luffy,
yeah,
I think Luffy is a very acquired taste. I mean, I feel the same way as a not Dragon Ball fan as Goku, where it's like when you're first introduced to Goku, I don't quite buy into his character.
yeah,
He's kind of the same way. He's a little goofy, pretty unserious, kind of dumb, and that's how Luffy is. And it's not until you get those like really serious, really cool moments, and you get them multiple times that you're really like, okay, this character is dope, even if he is a bit of a goofball and maybe pretty stupid. I mean, hell, the first like episode of Naruto just like completely destroys all your respect for Naruto as a character, and then builds it back up in the next like 10 episodes after.
okay, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. Luffy's. I hope he has like an actual cool origin story other than like I was a kid on a pirate ship and I stabbed myself. I don't know. He's kind of fun.
I mean,
Yeah.
he does, but it's not something that you would see
Okay, okay,
in.
then that's fine. It's whatever. I'll just
Yeah,
take it as is. What was the other guy's name? Zoroark or whatever? The green hair
yeah.
guy?
Zoro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Zoro.
I don't
Roronoa
remember his
Zoro.
name. Like the green guy. You
Yeah,
know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. I like
green
that
guy
guy. He's cool.
with the swords. That's my favorite character in
Yeah,
One
yeah,
Piece.
yeah. Yeah. Um and then
And it's really interesting
yeah.
how they dealt with Luffy and Zoro in the first episode because in the source material they kind of just like hit it off straight away and it's never really addressed. But in the live adaptation they actually kind of like fleshed out their friendship over time instead of it just being like, yeah, Zoro is now Luffy's ride or die and they met 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's it's like what was the other guy's name? Kobe Bryant, whatever.
Kobe, yeah. Don't say Kobe Bryant.
What?
Um, Kobe in the live adaptation is really fun.
Yeah,
Um,
he's like kind of he feels like kind of just like a nerd. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know what
Well,
other personality traits he has, but I
what's
guess find
interesting
out.
with him is what you saw in the first episode is basically all the content we get of him in the manga for like hundreds of chapters.
Okay,
And um but in the live adaptation, he like is a recurring character and they've like extended his character arc and gave him like real character moments early on in the series. And it's probably one of the things that I personally enjoyed the most about the live adaptation
gotcha.
because it wasn't like it was. I mean, it is an alternate story. Like there are things that they do in the live adaptation that did not happen in the manga, and would be really weird if they had happened in the manga, given how events go. But them like taking Kobe's character arc and actually like giving it to us at the early story, I felt like was really gratifying compared to the way it's done in the manga, where we don't see him for 200, 300 chapters or something like that, and then we come back and like check in.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Do you think there's anything that that the show didn't do well or didn't like adapt well. Obviously, I haven't seen it. I mean, I haven't seen the original, but like,
So like I said, I'm trying to be as vague as I can because Daniel
right?
hasn't
Yeah, okay.
watched
Maybe
these.
I can hold it for like when I watch one.
Um, I think there are things, but overall, I was pretty happy with the product. The final arc of the live adaptation, they made some decisions with some character motivations that I didn't particularly like that change, but there were some other changes I did like a lot. Um, so to I guess answer the question the most broad I can, the final arc of season 1 of the live adaptation was kind of awkward because they changed it in a way that felt very American television.
Mhm.
But I thought it really hurt the side characters that were involved to do it that way.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I'm going into it raw with no background, so maybe I can
Mm.
give a more
I am
a,
curious
a,
how. I mean, you said.
version opinion of it. I don't know how else to say it. Like, I don't have any reference.
I mean,
Uh,
you've said you haven't really bought into live adaptation much. I don't know what the general consensus is among people who haven't watched One Piece before. I know the general consensus behind One Piece fans and anime fans is that it's a pretty solid adaptation with some flaws, but
yeah.
like the positives outweigh the negatives overall. But for people who don't know the source material, um, I think it's been received pretty well from everything I know.
Yeah, it seems like the overall reception has been pretty well. I mean, good. Like, I don't know, like
Which, to be fair,
specifically.
those are
Yeah,
the most important people
yeah. It's like you
for
want to
this
get people
project
into the series. Right?
because
Yeah.
I can be as happy as I can't want to be about the fact that I think the adaptation's good, but at the end of the day, I still prefer this like main source material, and there's so much more of the main source material to go through. So it's not like I would ever tell anyone this is a substitute or anything like that. But for people who haven't gotten into the series, if they watch this and that makes them want to go read the main source material, or even just makes them excited about a potential season 2 and helps like get the lobbying for that, that's like an overall win for One Piece fans.
Yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Um, yeah, I'm interested to keep watching and see how it develops. At least, at the very least, it's been received better than the Death Note Netflix adaptation. So there's that. Um, yeah, I'm not
I
sure.
will say I am a little tired of One Piece fans touting this fake sign around their necks that says like first successful live adaptation of an anime, because as bad as some of the like Death Notes and Cowboy Bebops were, there have been a few good live action adaptations.
A lot of people like
Um,
the Alita Battle Angel one, pretty sure.
yeah,
Not
Wait,
that I
what's it
know it.
called?
Alita
Rurouni
Battle
Kenshin is
Angel.
the
Oh,
one
Lido
that
Battle Angel. Okay,
everyone's.
got it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
there's a few. I definitely think that like there are a lot of really bad ones, and so I get it. But it's one of those things where every time I see it, because I am connected with One Piece fan bases, I always just kind of eye roll, and I'm like, listen, you could say if you wanted to that it's the best live adaptation, um, and there's an argument there, but I would respect it. But it's definitely not the first to be successful.
Yeah.
What were some other ones that were successful? I'm trying to think other than that Battle Angel one.
I think Rurouni Kenshin is probably the biggest one I always hear a lot about.
Okay.
I've always heard that the live adaptation for that is really good.
Okay.
I know I don't know if I would call it successful, but I know the Bleach one is generally considered decent.
I didn't even know Bleach had one. I guess that makes sense,
I didn't
but
even know that. Either way.
Yeah. My understanding of that one is that it might not be at the same level, but it's still like a pretty solid live adaptation. I know that Naruto has one that's absolute dog shit.
What the heck?
And obviously we've talked about the Dragon Ball stuff that they've done in live adaptation before. So
Oh, there's
Dragon
supposed to
Ball
be a
Evolution.
Naruto like live action thing coming out
There's a new
soon.
one that's
Yeah.
supposed to come out again. Yeah, I think we talked about it because we did
Yeah,
we
live
did an
action thing. I don't
episode
know if that was
forever
announced
ago.
back then. Maybe, I don't know.
I think we definitely saw it, but I
Yeah,
don't know if we
maybe.
had any information at that time because it's been probably half a year at least since we did that
Yeah,
episode.
yeah. Yeah, I think it was like there were like rumors or something like that, but
I mean, you go back to that episode, like remember probably being like, "Yeah, One Piece live adaptation is happening. I hope it doesn't suck," or something along those lines.
yeah, yeah. Uh well, it seems like um live action, let me
I
see if I can
forget.
find the actual tweet, but yeah, it is in production, so um and yeah, there's some trailers and stuff like that. Okay. Well, I don't know. It'll be interesting. If the first one was supposed to be bad, then hopefully this one is like actually good. um, for the people that are interested. I don't know. I'm not a big Naruto guy, but maybe if it's good enough. Um, it is interesting though that like I feel like Bleach, for example, was a movie, right? Yeah, it was. And trying to think. Like Naruto now is supposed to be a movie, right? So I'm
Yeah,
curious, like, why movie over like a serial TV show, like with actual episodes and stuff like that. Um, I don't know what goes into that decision because I feel like to me, like if you're trying to adapt like an anime into live action, like surely you just make it like with like a TV show, like with episodes and stuff, right? Like I don't know. To make it into a movie, it feels like you're
I
gonna
think it
lose like a lot.
I think it depends what they're adapting, but
Yeah,
um, I think the answer is probably budget. Um,
yeah, could be. Yeah,
because if you even think about just runtime, right? A movie is about 2 hours, and Netflix shows tend to have nearly hour-long episodes, and so I feel like to get the most bang for your buck, it's probably more like financially reasonable to make a movie and just try and adapt like some specific small part just to kind of test the waters rather
mhm,
than to do a show.
yeah, that makes sense. Yep. I
Whereas in the One Piece show just had a fuck ton of budget money anyway, so they were like, fuck it.
Yeah. Did you like the actor for Luffy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all of I
Yeah, I
think
think he
all
was
of the
bad.
main actors they had were pretty good. And I think most of the actors in the show were pretty good. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But I definitely thought the um the Luffy actor just kind of had like that energy. And while it's obviously like a live action version of Luffy, and so it's not quite the same character, it still felt like true to the character the way it was portrayed, and it didn't feel like he was overacting. That's probably the way that I would describe it.
Yeah. I thought it was
Because I
natural.
think,
It's just like weird.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
That's the
It was
point.
natural. It was how the character was. It didn't alarm anything. Kind of similar. As funny it is, the guy who plays Zoro, McKenyu, plays a
Mhm.
lot of characters that are that like cool swordsman guy, and so it's the same. This is just kind of a character that he normally plays, and so it's something he's used to, and he did it pretty well.
Can you
And
wait?
you
Did
haven't met
you seen this guy?
McKenyu's been in a decent amount of stuff. Like there's a good chunk of people who watch the
Jojo?
live adaptation. Yeah, there's a
Oh,
decent
okay.
amount of
Yeah.
people who watched the live adaptation that are just purely McKenyu fans. So
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. I didn't know any of the actors, so or at least I don't think I have, unless they're like some recognizable ones.
I
So
think Emily Rudd's probably the only one that I would expect. Not expect people to know, but like the other, I don't know what Luffy's actor Iñaki has done.
yeah,
Like
I
I
just
have
feel like I
no
haven't heard of
idea.
these people.
I have no idea what he's ever done. Taz Skyler is like he is a big name to the people who know. That's how I would describe him. Kind of similar to McKinney. They do like somewhat niche stuff, and so if you know them, you're like, oh, that's a huge get.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know any of these. I only know like big movie actors. So like, I don't know any of them. I wonder whether if the success of this will like translate to like other shows getting live adaptations now. Because I mean,
Um,
because it's like the previous
mm,
ones, like okay, sure, there were like one-off successes, but like in general, I feel like
I
um
feel like it's less will lead to
yeah.
others getting them, and more maybe they will put more effort into
put
them.
better. Yeah, I
Yeah, okay, sure, yeah.
I think at the end of the
Oh,
Oh, did you cut off?
he's dead. It's over.
Oh
Awarida.
no! At the end of the day, oh no! Foreshadowing the actual end of the day. Um,
Well,
at the end of the day, he's about to leak the plans for the next live action adaptation, and they had to get rid of him. I'm
day
sorry, PK.
oh my god, he's back.
He's back. You were cut off for like a minute. What were you saying?
that's unfortunate. Um, I was talking about budgets. I was saying that like you're right, but also the massive amount of money that the One Piece live adaptation has shouldn't be like underestimated.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And
Sure.
like
I mean,
people are aware of the fact that a good chunk of why it was so successful is because they dumped money into it.
yeah. I just feel like it's like easier to decide to invest in something like this if the, I don't know, like if there's a higher chance of it being successful, which I guess it doesn't like One Piece being successful doesn't increase the chances of future live adaptations being successful, but like I don't know, it's possible. But yeah, I understand. It's a large undertaking, and it's not you have to get it right. It's not like you just do it and it like makes money, right? So it's a lot of work. Um, I don't know what shows I could think of that would do well with a live adaptation, but uh, I'm like cautiously curious about what they could come up with. So yeah. Oh, PK's dying.
Again.
Sorry.
Hello,
Oh,
You're,
am I
you're
back?
back.
you're
You're back.
back.
You're back. You're back.
Hello.
Okay.
I heard bits and pieces of what you were
No,
saying.
I was just saying that
Uh,
I'd be curious to see what other shows get adapted, if any. But I don't know.
I think there's probably some fun ones, but there's like a lot of what's in the realm of realism, I guess, too. Like One Piece is just on the line. Something like
Yeah.
Bleach probably did decent because there's nothing Bleach does that's like that crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but things like Naruto and Dragon Ball have these like
Yeah. Action
really
and
intricate power
superpowers.
systems.
Yeah.
And to be fair, One Piece eventually also gets like much crazier powers in it that I'm like very conscious of the fact that like that's gonna be a pain in the
Yeah.
ass to do.
Actually, the more I think about it, now that you mention it, that's why I think One Piece is actually a really good candidate. Because if you think about it, like, um, I feel like a drama would not like benefit as much from the live action. Like, you know what I mean? Um,
Mhm.
like the value of like One Piece being adapted into like 3D or whatever, is like you get to see all the characters and their powers in 3D, right? Like that's cool,
Yeah,
right? Whereas like if it's just like a drama or like a romance, it's like I don't want to say it's the same thing because it's definitely different, but it's like there's less gained
yeah.
from like moving from
Like
2D to 3D.
making a real life live adaptation doesn't add
Yeah,
a ton
I
of
mean, I think it'd
value.
be cool. I'd watch it, but like
Yeah,
I understand why it wouldn't like be something that
why it wouldn't be
yeah,
something that would be
yeah,
a priority.
yeah. Oh, and
Um,
then on the other hand, if it's like if there's too much stuff going on, then it just becomes like impossible or extremely hard to do, right? If there's too many like powers and just like a bunch of effects that have to be implemented in order to actually tell the story, then yeah, then it becomes like, okay, why are we even bothering to do this? So One Piece is
if
like a good middle ground, I guess.
yeah,
Um,
if anything, I think the new Naruto live adaptation that's coming out soon will be more of a measuring stick to
mhm.
whether um it's something that's like feasible nowadays or if it's just One Piece did it well because One Piece had millions of dollars to waste
Yeah,
on like pulling out all of the stops because it very much my understanding with everything with the One Piece live adaptation is they pulled out all of the stops to make it like the best product it could be.
yeah, yeah. I thought it was well made. At least for the first
And
episode.
I'm not gonna say that like no one else would do that, but I am gonna say that the amount of money the One Piece show had might be really difficult for a lot of other series to get.
Yeah.
But probably the one that comes to my mind that could get that money and also have potential to have a pretty interesting live adaptation is JJK.
That could be cool, but
And there are
I mean,
some
how
things I
much?
question.
Yeah, like in terms of
Yeah.
superpowers, like how much is there?
I don't think there's anything JJK does that's like too crazy other than things that would be like set designs and stuff like that. But as far as characters, um there's a few that come to mind, and then like general powers, there's a few that are weird, but I think it's enough within the realm of stuff that could be done in live action that it could be done and it could be done well, and it could raise that amount of money to be able to like fund being done really well.
Yeah. I mean, you guys know Steins Gate is my favorite anime. I actually think that could be like a show that could be like a decent light up adaptation because it's got enough like weird stuff uh, that it like makes it different from like a normal drama, but like it's not impossible to implement. At least off the top of my head, I can't really think of
Oh,
too much
pardon.
of it.
Hold up. That was not where I would send that. That was sneak
But
peek.
yeah, that's a show that could be cool.
Uh,
Well,
speaking of Steins Gate,
anyway,
I don't know if you all saw this, but there was a goober over in Japan who tested his
Goober.
luck with the copyright laws. So he
oh no.
posted a let's play of Steins Gate.
The visual novel.
Yes, but it was monetized,
Okay.
and so he was arrested and put in jail for like two
What the
years.
heck?
Ooh.
Okay, let me look
But
this
he
up.
also it was also a Spy Family edited like compilation thing. I don't know what it was. Like it was a Spy Family edit. He also did. So 2 strikes against Papa Anime, and he got slapped for it. It was like 2 years, like 5 years suspended sentence or something like that. Yeah, that one.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it just goes to
That
show
makes
how
sense
wild
also,
Japanese
Yeah.
copyright laws are.
Yeah, this. I mean, he uploaded the videos back in 2019. He just got. I mean, that makes sense, but like, it's kind of crazy. Like
Just,
4 years ago.
I mean,
Just like
I don't know.
forgetting. Yeah.
Me taking one step into Japan, they just have like the squad ready to
Yeah,
fucking arrest me.
Yep.
that's some serious stuff.
They're
I-
they're gonna be at the borders waiting for you.
Yeah, I heard or like I feel like I've heard so much stuff about like Nintendo and like what they're doing to like content creators and stuff like that. It's like kind of scary.
Yeah, I wonder if they were fine before, but then he monetized them later, and then they got him for
Yeah,
it.
it could have been.
But the big
That's
problem is that he monetized them, nothing, just posted them. But it's still a problem that happened in general. Like, their laws are just so out of whack.
Yeah, because like we see stuff like that happen here all the time, and it's like the video. What's the worst that happens? Videos get taken down, and the channel might get deleted. But I don't think I've ever seen any like big legal actions.
Yeah. Oh, I actually just read something that like the like uploading anime episodes, right? Like uploading reaction videos. Like you guys have seen like reaction, like obviously you don't have to watch them, but like you've seen like
Mhm.
reaction channels, right?
Hmm.
They'll just like react to an
I
episode,
mean, yeah,
right? Yeah. Like if you've noticed, there are like almost none that are actually in Japan, like actually based in Japan.
yes.
What they'll do is they'll just upload like Western ones and then sub them in Japanese, and people will watch those just because of I mean, I guess the copyright laws are. I don't know copyright specifically, but like yeah, the whatever laws they have, like uploading anime stuff in Japan, it's like pretty risky. Um,
Oh, you're
yeah,
saying like Japan?
yeah. So like, I'll
I
give you an
understand.
example,
Okay.
right? Like these are just like some Western
Yeah, yeah.
dudes reacting, but they'll like sub them in Japanese because there's no actual. I assume very few actual like reaction
Yeah.
channels in like based in Japan.
So instead, yeah,
Yeah,
instead they'll take like the American ones and then translate it so people can watch them. I
yeah,
see.
yeah.
I see.
That's kind of depressing. I don't know. but like
Just a little.
their own people can't like upload or that can't react to videos and stuff like that. But I don't know, whatever. It's their laws. I mean,
I
that's
do
their
love
thing.
me some reaction YouTubers.
I haven't actually. I'm trying to think if I've seen any. I mean, I've like quote unquote seen them. Like I was remember watching like some Code Geass reactions to like specific scenes. But I don't think I've ever watched like a full episode reaction because like I don't know, it's kind of hard to watch those when you've already seen the episode. But yeah, I know there's some channels that react to like every single
See,
anime and shit like that.
the ones those are the ones I like to see are the ones where I've seen the episode, so I know it's coming.
Yeah, I guess like to see their reaction to like specific moments you really liked. I just like never got into the ones that like upload the entire thing, and it's like I don't know. Um,
It's okay.
I think a lot of the
One day, Ed'll react to Bunny Girl.
But
Yeah.
are there not that many reactions of it, or like what?
Nah. Anyway, there's lore behind that. We're not. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We're not.
All right.
There's
Uh. Yeah, I don't know. Like, reaction channels are like free money if you can get any sort of like audience
That's
off it.
true, that's true.
Make a Patreon, slap that shit on there.
Oh
You're
yeah,
good to go.
yeah. I actually remember now. There's like a channel that would like upload reactions, but like they would only like let's say a 25-minute anime episode.
Yeah.
They would upload like 11 minutes worth of it, right? And then
Yeah, that's like what most of
Patreon.
them will do. Because
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
it's you can. There are like two ways to get away with uploading like the full episode. You can either go, you know, the Ed Psyculturist route where his fucking videos are like 4 hours long or whatever, and so
Yeah.
he's pausing so often that it doesn't he's never gonna get caught by the fucking what's it called, and he has a filter on it too.
Yeah.
And then speaking of filters, the second way is you filter the ever living fuck out of that episode, and then you know it's not gonna get picked up by the bot, so you gotta hope that it doesn't get manually reviewed, which you know they usually don't get manually reviewed. So if you can get past the bot, generally you're fine. It's just it's better to, you know, financially you put the you know, the edited one up, only have like half the episode of content basically, and then have your Patreon do the rest.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
sadly it's something that I can never do because I've watched too much anime.
There's not much to react. Not much left to react to.
When I get a fan base, just
I
react
would be
to
out
like
here-
literally every seasonal, just have like 20 uploads on Patreon every day.
That's a good idea.
I would be out here forced to react to shit like Rent a Girlfriend because I'm just out of out of good shows to watch. That's not true, but
There'd be some like
nobody wants to see me react to Clan Ed.
I want to see you react to Clannad, even if it's like, you know, it just finishing an episode and tell me how you like the, you know, or that'll never happen, surely. I don't know.
I'll watch more soon. Once I'm done moving every like 4 days, then I'll watch some Clan Ed for you. After I catch up on seasonals, also.
Yeah, and then you watch all of Clannad. All of
There
it
needs to be like
in a
some.
week.
There needs to be like something extra. Like actually,
All of it.
Ed does a good job with the reaction videos, but like I feel like there needs to be something extra to the reaction. There needs to be like a new meta for reactions. Like, well, you can't do drinking because I guess you get demonetized. But like, I don't know. There's got to be something you can do.
I mean, I don't know. I like Ed's because it's not just a reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Right.
he adds
Yeah.
a lot to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like I guess, because it started off just like reactions, and then it went to very specific subset of person reacts to thing that may or may not have anything to do with their like you know, there's like the British person reacts to American football type of things.
Yeah.
And I feel like that evolved to like such a thing because people just like put their title like over, like no matter what it is, it could be something that doesn't even matter. Like if they're a British person reacting to it, it doesn't change anything or like make it more interesting, but they'll put it there anyway. I thought that
Yeah, because why not?
yeah, because why not? And people click on it regardless. Yeah, I don't know what meta you could really go into this. I feel like
Just
I feel like we've hit the there's just reaction and then reactions that mean something. You know, I don't know if you can really do more than that.
No, there's got to be something else. Someone will figure it out within the next like 5 years and change the reaction game forever. Because like there were Let's Plays, and now there's like Nuzlocks, and then there's like the hardcore Nuzlocks, and now there's like I don't know. For a time it was like Soul Link. It's like it's there's always like one
Yeah.
more level. I feel like there's got to be
And
something more for reactions.
now there's just play Emerald Kaizo 700 times because you lose every time.
Yeah, playing Emerald Kaiser with like your feet and like only use one
Yeah.
Pokemon that starts with the letter S. Like there's like so much like I just think yeah, I guess like with the reactions there's less competition. But because like if you just like a reactor, you just like a reactor, right? But I don't know. There's got to be something more. If there's something more
I gotta
added,
imagine
I'd be
there's
more
also
inclined to
like,
watch. But yeah,
yeah.
like
I imagine there's also like, you don't want to have, as a reaction person, you probably don't want to have like people come for a show and then leave once you're done with it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, of
there's
course. You have to
always
have
like,
personality.
yeah, I mean, there's that, but people always do like come for a show and then leave. But there's always more shows to come out. Like, there will always be a big name that you can react to that will draw enough people to
Yeah, for sure.
keep a roof over your head.
Yeah.
I don't know, like stuff like Demon, like any reactor who's doing, you start Demon Slayer, you'll get enough people in your Patreon, you'll never run out of money.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same with One Piece, right?
You just
Start One Piece.
start One
And,
Piece, one episode a
Still
week.
One Piece episode 1, bro.
There's a reaction channel called Blind Wave, and they react to
I haven't watched.
One Piece episode every April Fools. So
I
they'll be done in a few thousand years.
I have watched their content before. I unfortunately have a problem where I like to watch reaction YouTubers a decent amount. Um, so I've been around a good amount at this point, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'd say Blind Wave's one of the better ones. They like actively like taking notes during their like they're
Yeah,
among the better.
Blind Babe does they stay engaged and they'll have
Well, I've
conversations
seen these
later.
guys. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, not like Monkey
'Cause
React.
I think I used to watch them for My Hero way back. Okay, that dates it because I have not been into My Hero for a few years, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember. I think I've seen their like anime reactions, but I didn't know. Or well, I didn't know they had like movie reactions too. But that's cool. Like reacting to Wally and stuff. Like okay,
yeah,
right.
they react to a lot of different stuff. They're like really
Yeah,
like like the like the actor strike started and writer strike, and so they're like, okay, anything that falls under this we're not gonna react to or something like that. But then they like got permission from the thing to keep doing it, and so they're a good group of people.
gotcha. Yeah,
I guess like kind of speaking on like the changing metas, I've talked with people lately about kind of one of them compared kind of where anime is right now to where gaming was maybe like 10 years ago, kind of like getting more mainstream, but it's still kind of like in its infancy of like it's still a niche, I guess. Like
sure.
it's not like so niche that you can't grow off of it, but it's niche enough to where there's kind of like a ceiling, which is something that I'm sure you know who Gigguk is. He's probably
Yes,
like, yeah,
of
I'd
course.
say biggest
yeah.
anime YouTuber. He himself has said like he feels like he reached like like the ceiling basically. I'm sure doing the trash taste stuff fucking really helped him break a little bit out of that, but it's still like he gets millions of views every video he does. He's getting at least 1 million on it, but his audience isn't gonna like exponentially grow off of it or anything.
Mhm.
And
Well,
so
and that's
I'm
one of the
wondering
reasons.
when that boom might happen potentially.
That's one of the reasons because you and I have talked about this before. Because I constantly have the urge to like create something, and I don't necessarily know what that would be. But Daniel and I have had the conversation about like, oh, if I made YouTube videos myself, and I've always had the feeling of I don't really know what I would make, and therefore I don't want to because the things I like would be difficult for me. Like making anime videos, I could see me having fun with that for a bit, but I don't think I would enjoy it long term. For
Yeah.
example. or like music, like doing music-based videos. I think I would have a lot of fun with long term, but I don't actually know what I would do.
You could
And so
you
it's
could play. You could. Oh, I have a great idea. If you play 8 instruments, you could like make. I don't know what they're called, but they're called like they're like the
I
videos where
could, yeah.
you play each of the instruments and you like overlay them, like not overlay, like have like one panel for each of them to like combine. You know, like you're making your own band,
So
but you're not playing
so
all of it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So the
I don't know
problem,
what they're called.
two problems with that. The one is the instrumentation's weird because most of what I play are brass instruments, which you
Sure.
can have brass
Yeah,
ensembles,
you
and
could.
that's doable. Um, the bigger issue is the fact that I only own a trumpet
Okay,
personally.
yeah, that's true. Okay,
Everything
fair enough.
else, I mean, well, I own bass guitar. I have a keyboard, stuff like that. But as far as like the brass instruments, the things that I'm like really good at, I only own a trumpet because are really expensive. French horn, I just never got around to owning one because I
Right.
kind of just did it on and off. I learned French horn when I was like 11, and I would just kind of use it when I needed it, type of thing.
Yeah, of
But I was
course.
actively playing trumpet and tuba the most throughout like my career,
Mhm.
and I never owned a tuba because that's way too much money.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I was just an idea. But yeah.
Solo
No, no, no,
trumpet
fair.
cover of anime
Solo
openings.
trumpet, yeah,
That'd be crazy.
That'd be a bitch to do though. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be
Yes.
fun, but it's the same thing. Like, would I have fun doing that? Yes. Would I have any like goal with it or be satisfied by it? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Satisfaction is having fun, I guess, right? Kind of,
That's fair.
maybe.
But that is to say that like I feel similarly when I look at anime content, and it's like there's only a few different kinds and none of them feel super interesting to me, and I also like see the ceiling that there is there, and I'm like, well, that would be cool if I got to that ceiling maybe, but by then I would probably be burnt out anyway.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know.
Which is just my personal take.
Probably, I mean, it's probably worth it to start it and see where it goes, right? Can't hurt. I mean, it just takes time.
Yeah, I think it would just be a matter of deciding what I would want to do,
Yeah.
whether it is in either the things I mentioned or if it's just some random other thing that I am like, this is a passion that I would want to make things in.
Worst case scenario, you can start a reaction channel.
yeah, that'll do it.
Actually,
I can react to all of One Piece and they'll never know I've watched the whole thing 3 times.
yeah, you can fake your reactions. Yeah, there you go. That's a great idea.
Yeah, then they found you on this podcast, and it gets really awkward.
Yeah, they
Now
find
they,
You have a
now
big
they know.
drama
Okay.
that skyrockets your channel's popularity and our podcast and say, "All right, time to start a reaction channel. We have a new plan.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Then.
Yeah.
We will be causing
A little bit of
controversy on
controversy. Yeah, I was
purpose."
gonna say a little bit of controversy isn't a bad thing always.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
you and me will have a falling out when I choose Ayumu as best girl, and then we actually end the podcast for a year, and then we come back and we skyrocket our viewership again after
Yeah,
we
exactly.
miraculously make up.
The Gochuucast season 3 script is kind of crazy.
Dude, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
they have no idea.
Yeah. Is there any other anime news that happened recently? I'm just trying to think.
I don't
Um,
remember anything crazy. I mean, more delays probably. I know.
Zom 100
The
is like the big one.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
And it's like the
the
only one,
Bandori.
actually.
Yeah, Bandori's final episode got delayed a week, but it's just the one episode getting delayed a week. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, Zom 100's in like a
I don't think.
questionable area right now.
I don't think I've heard anything too crazy other than everyone talking about the One Piece. Obviously,
Yeah, I don't
that's been like the
know.
big news.
Uh,
JJK manga had a really big thing happen, but
we can't talk about that.
that's
Okay, okay. No
yeah,
spoilers.
for me, that's unfortunately been unavoidable, but kind of funny.
Yeah, all the memes surrounded it are like a little funny, I
All
guess.
the
I don't know.
memes surrounding it are kind of funny.
JJK fanbase slowly but surely creeping their way up into the most annoying, just because it keeps getting bigger and bigger, and all the goobers that no one likes keep joining it.
At least in my experience, at least they're usually funny. That's the one thing I'll give them. But Yeah, nothing I've noticed that's too crazy news-wise.
Yeah.
We should be sometime this week, I believe, getting news about the Haikyuu movie. I believe.
Nice.
Wait, what's
One day I'll watch IQ. Maybe when it's finished, I'll watch it.
I mean, there's
Wait.
only 2 more movies left,
Oh, okay.
And you know what?
and one of
That's
them
2
should
more
be coming
movies I'll
out
be
soon.
waiting
Two
for.
more.
Then.
Wait, so there's 2 more movies left. So this is the second to last one. So when's the last one coming out? Is there any announcement about that? Or no?
There is. We just know that they're planning to do 2 movies that will finish the series, and I'm a little concerned about how that pacing is going to work. But um, allegedly, this movie and one more movie will finish the Haikyuu story.
Okay. Well, okay. So when that comes out, then Daniel can watch it. There you go.
No, the second one has to come out,
Yeah.
not the first one.
Yeah.
The second one, I believe we should be getting information about mid-September-ish.
Nice. When's Gochumon season 4? Our podcast cannot reach season 4 before Gochumon gets to season 4. We'll end the podcast. That's the podcast end condition if Gochumon doesn't get a season
podcast
4.
goes on hiatus.
Yeah, until Gochumon gets a season 4.
When is New Game season 3? That's what I want.
Maybe one day. Not, I don't know. Ask
I feel like probably not. Maybe one day, but I hope maybe one day. I just feel like September 2017. I guess that's not the craziest, but that's 6 years since season 2 ended. Starting to get up there.
I feel like I've asked this, but how much of the manga have they adapted?
I think a good chunk, but I don't know.
So there's stuff left.
I haven't read New Game. I know New Game is one of those like started off as a 4 coma, and I don't. It might have
Which I
always
learned
been a 4
about 2
coma.
weeks ago. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it ever stopped being a 4 coma, but I know it at least started as a 4 coma. So I'm not entirely sure where it ends in terms of the anime content.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's
But
got
I know that there is a
13
good amount of
volumes.
content. Yeah. I just know there's a good amount of content they haven't covered in the anime.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's 1 season amount, 2 seasons amount. I want to say it's only a season amount from the things I've seen, but it's all like secondhand stuff. So
It'd be like that sometimes. You never know. It's been however many years for a lot of anime that are like Kimi no Todoke just got a 3rd season announcement, and I think it's been like what 12 plus years since that.
That's crazy.
yeah, it's definitely one of those things that's like
You never know.
one day.
Yeah, could be an announcement out of the blue. So 12 years since the last season. Like,
Kimi no Todoke had its 2nd season in 2011, and in 2024 it will get a 3rd season.
Like, what like compels them to like wait that long and then I don't know.
I think it's
budget or
probably
whatever.
just gonna finish the rest of the story, I'd guess.
Yeah. It's okay. New Game is gonna get the Oshinoko money, clearly.
Yeah. Someone says Oshinoko is gonna get the Oshinoko money.
Yeah, Oshinoko might get the Oshinoko money, but New Game can get a little bit.
I'll watch New Game eventually. It's on the list of one days.
I wonder how you'll feel about the game. That's actually interesting.
It feels like something I'd like.
It feels like something.
Yeah, I feel like you'd like it.
But also, me knowing the content, I wouldn't be surprised if it was to you just like a show of all time.
You know,
but I feel like you'll like it.
To be fair
likely.
to Dogakobo, of every show of theirs I've watched, I don't think well, I wasn't too big on Shikimori's anime. But otherwise, they made Osamake, never mind. Okay. There's only, I blame the content more than them, though. There's only, I'd say like one, they made Sing yesterday for, okay.
Anyway.
Finding more. For the most part, things I've watched from them, I've generally enjoyed. Like, My Senpai's Annoying.
Like, if I had to put money on it, you would probably like New Game. Like,
I'll
if I
probably
was
like it.
betting money, I would bet that you would like it.
Yes.
But it's interesting. Interesting to think about.
We'll see. Whenever I watch it. Whenever that is. One day in the future. But what is not in the future is the end of this episode. It's right now. We did not actually do an outro last time, so now it's fresh off the... Or not fresh, it's just off the brain. If you enjoyed
Yeah,
this
are you out
episode,
of
you should subscribe or follow on whatever platform you're on. If you're on YouTube and like to go to the audio-only side of things, then all you need to do is go down to the description below, click the link, and it'll take you to the page, and you will be able to find our Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. If you're on audio-only, want to look at the YouTube, just go to youtube.com. Is the order an anime podcast? We're the only one. You cannot possibly miss it. Every Saturday, 3 p.m. EST, we will have a new episode up without fail, except for when we do. Hope to see you in another episode. Thank you and goodbye.